Hello, my name is Melissa Torres. I was born in Southbridge, and how I got into writing, I remember the day very clearly. I was about 9 years old, and I was filled with all these emotions. I can't remember what emotions I was feeling in that moment, but I know I was just feeling all these emotions, and I went to my mom's bedroom door, and I knocked on her door. And I didn't know at the moment, but she was going through her own inner stuff. And she told me, Melissa, go write it down. And I'm sure she doesn't know it, but that is the best advice she had ever given me. And it started me off on my writing journey. So I wrote poetry starting at that point, and I kept going. I wrote songs, and I hardly shared them with anyone but my mom and maybe a couple other people. And I went through a bad breakup at one point, and I just stopped. I didn't write anything, and I just held in that pain. And then I started this spiritual journey. I learned Reiki, I learned other forms of healing and meditation arts. And this past year, something kept telling me, you know what? You've done all this. Now it's time to go back to your writing and start expressing your journey through your poetry. So that's what I did. And one person that is very dear and close to me, his name is Timothy. I was telling him about my meditation journeys and spirit journeys, and he said, you know, that would make a really good book. And that was the last point. I was like, you know what, yes, I'm gonna do this. So the poetry's in my book. It's called Remembrance Journey, Poetic Writings of My Soul's Experience. It's on Amazon. And the poems in the book are just that. It could be, you know, words that come through during meditation. They could be spirit journeys that I put into writing. And in the book also, there's some light language symbols on some of the pages that reflect healing that went on during the writing process. So a lot of these poems don't have names. Some of them do. My eyes are open, and I do see the what was, what is, and what can be. These possibilities ever-changing, shifting the realities, choices, a creative force, coupled with emotional stability. Feel its power, for it blocks what life is all about. Not to suffer, but to succeed, life nurturing, every need. Miracles guaranteed. Your thoughts are the seed. Feed them love. Watch them grow. Empowering light from above. And here's another one. Sweet emptiness, from which all distortions will flow. Trying to consume what was once pure. Now endless storms with raging seas and lightning-scorched skies. Tearing through darkness, the beat of thunder's drum in your bones, erupting with starfire, everlasting flames, deathless light, ancient one. Who are you now? Unresolved confusion, torn and twisted contortions, perverted, maddened intrusions. What of my soul's restitutions, its rights to absolution, wholeness and embodiment? When you have seen darkness, all you desire is to be the light. When you see such sadness, all you desire is to be happiness. When I see, I desire to be love, unconditional, existing to exist, in richness of source, creators of reality, particles expanding, racing, faster they move out of sight. Higher realms only seeing eyes see, the timelines of all possibilities, stepping between dimensions, finding resolution, interception, weaving of destiny's fate. Write your story. It's not too late.
So do you have things that have inspired you, and like your writing, what's your practice like? Do you write every day?
It really depends on what's going on. I'm very much moved by emotion. So, yes, I express emotion verbally, but when there's emotion stirring, and usually it's when someone is unreceptive to listening, that's when I will write it down, just so that it is not stuck within my own heart space. I give it a different place to exist that's out of me.
So you find that kind of a healthy way of dealing with things?
Yeah, it's healing, because in life, you know, not everyone is receptive to how you feel, and that's okay. That's their choice, but you still need a way to express it. So this is one about someone that was kind of stuck in anger. So I wrote a poem about it because they were not receptive to hearing my opinion on it, right? And that's fine. How long will you wear the face of anger, hiding behind a mask of justification, increasing probability of reoccurring events that bring you back and reinforce rage? Disappointment, unhappiness, how long will it last? Engaging profuse thoughts of heartbreak. Forgive yourself. Be free. Let your heart expand and be the light, the love that lasts eternally. Allow it to expand, reaching out each hand to receive, to give, the only rule from which to live. I also have poems about different elements like water and fire, just whatever comes up. Water, what secrets do you hold? Ancient memories of long lost and forgotten, magical remedies, wars, love, death, rebirth, treasures, as old as the earth, all the cleansing, blood and tears, emotion running with your river bends, beast unknown, travels untold. I come to sit with you. In life, when we go through certain traumas, or we constantly saying yes, sometimes we portray ourselves and a piece of ourselves breaks off until we recognize what that part is and bring it back with us. So this is speaking to myself. What did I do? How have I betrayed you, locked you away in darkness? I'm sorry. Please tell me what to do to set you free, to feel your light shining, your love and joy. I'm sorry. If you tell me, I will rectify. I will change my ways. I cannot bear to live without you to brighten my days. I wish to embrace your melody, to flow with your cosmic frequency. Loving you was always the remedy. I am you, you are me, soul's request, awakened to see. And another. Born from another place in ancient times, cosmic womb, reborn to a world in ruin, such possibility, engrossed, manipulated, cursed, to darkness, to slumber, purposely positioned, strands of binds, cords choking out truth, blind sight, sword in hand, intention set, cutting the lies, extracting darkness, lifting veils, releasing depth, forgiveness, in the form of compassion for words, thoughts, action, reaction, knowing sets you free. That was sort of one of just being born in a world that is in such chaos, and how you awaken to that truth.
Do you find writing poetry about the chaos that is around you helps to quiet things and put things into perspective? Is that part of your craft?
It is a little bit, because, you know, sometimes it can be overwhelming to see and experience chaos and suffering in the world. And when you write it, when you start to speak about it, you also start to release that overwhelm. And then towards the end, you're brought back to, okay, now I can see the light that also exists in the world, because I released the chaos from it. If that makes sense. It's healing. It's also a process of healing. Oh, this is one to the earth, to Mother Earth. Deeply rooted, I feel your magnetic pull, drawing out, exhaling with release, I shiver, coldness leaving out of the soles of my feet, heat prickling, stagnant, departing energy. With gratitude, I breathe again, filling my heart, green emerald light, crystalline consciousness, golden streams, source rays, encircled, joyful completion, bliss. So this one was about when I ground to the earth, and I can feel her pulling old stagnant energy out of my body, and I'm releasing it and feeling relieved. And then I feel her love returning up and filling me with positive, beneficial energy. It is difficult to see through all the pain, the suffering, violence, mistreatment, and prejudice. It is difficult to speak when you have been made or told to be silent. It is difficult to stand when repeatedly have been knocked down on your knees. It is difficult to be brave when you have been taught to fear. It is difficult to live when your life has revolved around survival. But who will make a change? Where will it end? I say, history repeats itself until it's healed. Your ancestors depend on you. They depend on you to break the chains. They depend on you to heal their generations and yours. Their blood runs through your veins, their lives and experiences too. We carry them with us, and so we live as they did. Maybe not to the T. The themes continue, the same stories replaying, different faces and names. To heal is to be free from the traumas and cycles that keep circulating over and over. To heal is to bring peace to the land, your ancestors, yourself, future generations. Only through healing can unity become possible. It is up to me to heal mine. I am my blood. I am my ancestors. As my heart beats, I will continue. Blessed are those that can see. But what of those who feel? Did we get the poor deal? When we signed up for this ordeal, who decided this should be? Did I feel your pain and suffering? Who made this so? Where I was? Where was I? Why did I not protest? Each time I rise, their darkness leads my regress. Am I to transmute all into light? Am I to block out everyone? I'm drowning in a foreign sea of lost souls, pulling me down to the depths of anguish. Am I to pull them up? Their traumas are so powerful. Give me the strength to prevail. That is the life of an empath. Sadness. I know your grief for the loss of love, the depths of which you must go in order to bury your sorrow. Your timing is divine, but do not wallow much longer, for these depths of seasons are meant to bring on new things. So honor your past as you must. Let go and say goodbye. Ashes, dust to dust. Envision a future of more, life filled with love and people you adore. All you desire is yours. From source light, love pours. As you notice, that was one about sadness. I feel so relieved, thoughts being formed into words, finally rid of them, mind to paper. They felt constricting. I choked on them, scared they would bring tears. I did cry, burning rivers down my face, puddles formed on my pillow, souls searching for a clue, walking through doors of past, ancestors rising, visions true, plucking out thorns of deceit, mending fragments of me, integrated light. I am me. I am deeper than the roots can be. Do not use your eyes to see me. My essence, thick potency, will have you lost in ecstasy. You inquire, what's my heart's desire? Quiet yourself long enough to listen. It speaks when darkness takes over the skies. I speak of passion and flow. I speak of love and seeds to sow. Cosmic lullabies, divine right. Do not let me pass you by. Like a shooting star, I will be missed. Instead profess, what intention need be addressed, leaving nothing unsaid, for words unspoken lead to regret. If it is your wish to succumb to eternal bliss, then come now, let's seal it with a kiss. Igniting sacred fires within, purifying all at once. The darkness taken in, it was not mine. I do not know, it just grew heavier. As time went by, I was taken over. Their suffering became mine. I had forgotten my identity. Finally, the sacred fire has arisen, flowing through my form, transmuting everything within, darkness to light, pain to joy. My sacred fires forever burn. My sacred has returned. Open hearts take a look into themselves, finding the deepest truths, revealing power like none other, holding one sweet, loving embrace. This love has many faces. It traces the stars in the skies. It runs with the river's flow. It climbs the highest mountains. To be in its presence is such a gift. To become it is better still. You will have no greater joy than the embodiment of your own light. My soul just wants to be wild amongst the nature spirits and beings again, to fly with the wind, to run with the wolves, to flow with the rivers. I'm here, dancing by the fires of her, the one who lives within. She whispers as I sit here alone. She whispers as I sit with the wind. She whispers, I was always here. Naked, I stand before you, bearing all of me for you to see, unhidden, with flames burning, unleashed passion, growing desire, boundless, in my grace, dancing, with all that is, and all that ever will be. Join me, or pass me by. I remain engulfed in my divine flame. Ancestors, wise and true, bless me with wisdom and power to see might purpose through, protect me, guide me on this sacred journey, empowered by lineages as old as time itself, overflowing knowledge, magical wealth, elemental sages, wisdom keepers, stand with me. Let us create a new world built for the highest good of all. So some of these are just things I would say too in my meditations beforehand, if setting intention almost, and that was one of them. So I'd say that before and then see what happens. Sitting in the dark, outspoken by its mysterious beauty, a mirror of your image to me, taken over by simplicity, empowering depth of this void, fighting a battle without the will to rebel. I sense the heaviness rising to be released. I surrender. It flows up in a gray swirling smoke. With it, every vow I spoke, every hurt I felt, and every poor card dealt. I breathe so deeply, as if I've never taken a breath before, filling these holes inside with original essence, sewing together the wounds with light, shifting, rising, embracing. I am. That was a part of my self-healing, sitting with my darkness and pain and not trying to change it, just sitting with it, acknowledging it, and then allowing it to flow and be released, and allowing the light to fill the spaces. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there was an epic story told of a villain, a victim, and a hero. The story was told, the characters well played, until each decided to paint another picture to portray. Each sat down to give their confession, sprung from their chapter, a trauma and a lesson, staring wide-eyed whilst holding space for understanding. This is not going as each had been planning. Tears fell heavy with release when stepping out of roles, allowing healing, allowed peace, dissolving all hate and rage, filling their hearts with love as they forgave. They then stood and said, "This ends with me. What was is no longer and can never again be." So this is sort of about the drama triangle. I don't know if anyone's aware of that, but it's if you look in any situation where there is a problem that needs a solution, a lot of times, one's the villain, one's the hero, and one's the victim. But then if you all sit down, each of you are also all three of those things in one way or another. And if you acknowledge that you're just stuck in this cycle and pattern of being the victim, hero, or the villain, you can take yourself out of that and make a choice not to step back into those roles. Instead, become the observer and not react. This is about the mother tree. A lot of times, there's a spirit journey that I really love, and it's going to see, it's in this beautiful garden, and in the garden there's many places to visit for many different reasons. And one of my favorite places is going to see the mother tree that's there. So this is about that. O great tree of wisdom, great tree of healing, take from me my pain, my sorrow, my grief, and let it travel the length of your roots into the core of Mother. Let it die an honorable death. I have felt its sting, its heaviness for long enough. Mother, I come to you as any child would. I have missed feeling connected to your love. Bless me with restoring it now. Flow up through my feet into every cell, reaching to the skies. Take what is not for my best. Fill me with your divine presence. This one I actually wrote for one of my children. A poem, a promise. When you feel like the walls are closing in around you and you are trying to find your voice, but the words you just can't say, know that I am here, walking beside you, even if just in silence for today. My promise is never to abandon you, and when you bear your scars, I will not flinch or look away, for I cherish every part of you, even those parts you try to hide away. This is another spirit journey. My spirit soars, traveling on the winds to a sacred place, to the garden. As I reach the gates, I notice its change, rust forming from my neglect. I whisper, I'm sorry. Pushing open the door, I walk in. I'm here to see the mother tree. I state my intent. Light and wind flow down the path, leading the way. I follow. Finally arriving, I circle her, hands caressing as I search for her face. Oh, mother tree, I've come for my healing. Please accept these gifts 3. Placing them at her base, I then plant my ailments. 1, 2, 3. Watching as the magic takes place, she shows me the gift of letting go from what arises in their place. The softness of gazing eyes, piercing soul's perception, connected with mother, frequency, love, reminded of her gift, of her blessings, the seasons, birth, death, rebirth, stillness and movement. She holds me with such care as I lay upon her, healing all despair. She knows my story without having spoke a word. She shows me my purpose in signs and symbols, my greatest teacher, the one I turn to. I hold her in my heart forever. Cosmic Mother. So I have a great love for nature and Mother Earth. And sometimes I will just go and just lay on the earth for like hours. Obviously not in the wintertime, but and then just look at the trees. I've always been very fond of just watching the trees sway with the wind. Breathing in the golden light, inhaling divine love, shining from within so bright, all coming together now. What a blissful existence. I humbly bow. I honor myself. I honor the cosmos. Entering into this eternal dance, I begin to flow. And all that I seek now flows to me with ease and grace, with love, all at its own divine pace. Watching the stories unfold, seeing relevance, I forgive myself. I forgive others. Reclaiming gifts I hold, I ignite them from within. Running the light of gold through past, present, and future. A new legacy created of love, of miracles. The candles lit, the circles drawn. Reach down into the pit, drawing to the surface divinity, breathing within my expansiveness. I am who I am. Time to let the magic flow. Remembrance of the eternal light, I. Weaving new possibilities, a creator amongst the gods. My place will always be. Now I must take my rise, for my throne awaits me. So this one is an aspect of soul retrieval. So I do a lot of shamanic healing as well. And we have sort of like archetypes that hold, when we do retrievals, there's like archetypes when we go to retrieve a certain part of us. And they can represent the queen, they can represent angelic energy, or fairy energy, magic, whatever. And it's the characters of these archetypes that we allow back into us and sort of realign to us, like angelic with the wings. It's when you take back your wings, you it represents reconnecting you back to divinity and to your light and being able to fly and soar free again. So each has its own representation to each individual and could be different per individual. So this is kind of like noticing my own shift and my own perceptions and energy, and also noticing how others are not reacting because they're getting a different version of me. Since this change I've made of mine, people act as if I've committed a crime. So why, as every day that passes, do I feel as if I am more me? Life is too short for regrets, and I have none. However, I will not waste my time being your moon if you will not be my sun. Is a difference that has presented so hard to believe? What was once a thought from which my mind did conceive, gave birth to a new era of me. A whole forest flourished from just a few seeds, and my paradise lies ahead. It dwells deep in my head, a painted picture of what will come to be, my reality. To me, it's destiny, written in the stars for centuries. I had hoped to see you there. In fact, I kind of counted on it. Unfortunately, as the days go by, the image of you fades. Our season is fading too. Thank you for having me.